The 10 weirdest creatures that ever lived and left scientists speechless. Imagine a shark with a circular saw for teeth. And somehow, those aren't even the strangest animals our planet has ever seen. Welcome to the wild side of prehistory, where evolution threw the rule book out the window and got gloriously creative, or glided across Earth. Creatures so strange that scientists literally laughed at their reconstructions until they realized nature was dead serious. Let's start in the Cambrian explosion, 505 million years ago, in what's now the Canadian Rockies. Opabinia regalis, the five-eyed nightmare with a backwards mouth. In 1972, paleontologist Harry Whittington presented a reconstruction of this tiny animal to a room full of scientists. Opabinia was only about 5 to 7 centimeters long, like a big shrimp, on the underside of its body, facing backwards, then somehow maneuvering the food to that rear-facing mouth. It looked impossible until scientists realized it worked beautifully. Discovered in 1911 in the Burgess Shale, but properly studied in 1977, this 2 to 3 centimeters worm-like creature was named for its bizarre and dreamlike quality. They had it upside down and backwards, those long spines. The spines were defensive armor on its back, and the real head, not found until 2015, tiny eyes and a mouth full of needle-like teeth on the opposite end from what everyone assumed. The blob they thought was the head. Probably just ancient poop. Hallucigenia is actually related to modern velvet worms, those adorable, squishy predators living under logs today. For half a century, we had this animal doing a permanent headstand in our textbooks. Evolution loves a plot twist. Next up, the ultimate buzzsaw of the seas, Helicoprion. In 2013, CT scans of jaw cartilage from Idaho finally solved it. The entire tooth whorl sat in the lower jaw. No upper teeth at all. No bone crushing needed. This wasn't a true shark, but more closely related to ratfish. Up to 8 to 9 meters long, Helicoprion cruised ancient oceans with a built-in meat grinder, nature's ultimate power tool. Now, meet the animal that was basically just a neck, Tanystrophius. This Triassic reptile reached 6 meters total, with a 3-meter stiff neck, longer than its body and tail combined. 13 elongated vertebrae, reinforced by overlapping ribs, made it rigid like a fishing pole. 2 species lived side by side, one with fang-like teeth for fish and squid, the other with 3-pronged teeth for small invertebrates. They ambushed prey by shooting that ridiculous neck forward while hiding the body. Speaking of flight experiments that never caught on, Cherovipteryx, the only animal in history that tried wings on its back legs. Tiny front limbs acted as canards for steering. One single fossil, found in 1965, is all we have. It glided beautifully between trees, snatching insects in warm forests. Yet, in 225 million years since, nothing else ever tried leg wings again. Birds, bats, pterosaurs all went with arm wings. Cherovipteryx remains the one-hit wonder of aerial evolution. Now for the herbivore that looked like a horror movie villain, the Therizinosaurus. This 10-meter-long, elephant-weight theropod had claws up to a meter long, longer than a baseball bat. When first found in Mongolia in the 1940s, scientists thought they belonged to a giant turtle. But these weren't weapons. Biomechanical tests show they were too thin and fragile for fighting or digging. Instead, this fluffy, pot-bellied giant used them like giant hooks to pull down branches and strip leaves. A slow-moving, feathered salad bar specialist with a tiny head and leaf-shaped teeth. They named it Terrible Hand and assumed it was a monstrous predator. For decades, it haunted our imaginations. In 2014, nearly complete skeletons revealed the truth. It had a long, spoon-shaped beak, no teeth, a sail-like hump, and a massive gut. Stomach contents included fish bones and over 1,000 gastroliths, those terrifying arms. A giant, humpbacked, duck-faced vacuum cleaner, Stethecanthus the shark, that grew furniture on its back about 300 million years ago. Male Stethecanthus had a bizarre first dorsal fin shaped like a flat ironing board or anvil covered in spikes. A matching spiky patch on its head. Females didn't have it. They probably ate small fish. The design lasted millions of years. Females clearly found the furniture look attractive. Early sharks were experimenting with wild accessories, the absolute unit of the Carboniferous Arthropleura. Up to 88 legs rippling in waves. High oxygen levels let arthropods grow massive. Recently discovered heads show tiny antennae and jaws. Size matters until the food runs out. Finally, the animal that stumped Charles Darwin himself, Macrochania. In 1834, Darwin found bizarre bones in Patagonia, but the nostrils, high up on the skull, between the eyes. For 180 years, scientists debated trunk, inflatable snout, snorkel. DNA in the 21st century solved it, related to horses and rhinos. Part of South America's unique, isolated mammal experiments. Evolution's ultimate mix-and-match mammal.